All right, Firewall, happy Monday. Start to your week. We've got a good two-parter coming at you here. So we're gonna go over it right now with some good old shoulder taps. Kicking it off, yeah. 15 minutes, we are rotating through. You have 3 movements. 5 per side of a shoulder tap with a 5-second pause each rep. Oh yeah, 5 seconds each rep. Then 5 per arm of a 1.5 kneeling strict press. And then 15 sit-ups, either weighted or no-handed. All right, so for our 15 minutes, we're rotating through here, starting off with our shoulder taps. Bucky's gonna get going real slow because each rep, again, has that 5-second pause where when he touches his opposite shoulder, he's gonna count to 5. Or I would highly suggest having a phone underneath you, maybe counting for you. So all you have to do is just tap that shoulder, look it till it says 5, and then you're good. Tap the other shoulder. All right, so that would be ideal. Also, probably not a good idea to look at a clock on the computer screen so you're not cranking your neck, okay, and looking up the whole time. So again, that phone will be really helpful unless you're really good at counting and want to do that. But it's 5 per side, each one with that 5-second pause. After that 5 per arm of the 1.5 kneeling strict press. This is that kneeling position.
1.5 half.
1.5 half kneeling strict press. Really tongue twisters this
2 halves.
week. Jeez.
It's pretty much 2 kneeling strict presses if you add it all up.
Oh God. We're doing 1.5 half kneeling strict presses here. So, as our normal half kneeling strict press, Bucky's his right knee's down. That means his dumbbells in his right hand. Okay, normal half kneeling strict press, we are usually just pressing straight up, keeping that core super tight, not leaning back. Okay, for this one, you're also doing that, but now you have a half to worry about. So, Bucky's gonna keep a nice tight core. He's gonna take a deep breath in. He's gonna breathe out and press all the way up. Here comes the half. He's gonna come halfway down. So think about maybe like 90 degrees with that arm. He'll hold it for a split second, and then you press all the way up, okay? And that's when you come back down to finish the movement. So that 1.5 means 1 halfway down, finish it, and then come back to that start position. So you have 5 on one arm of that 1.5 half kneeling strict press, and then you will go to the other side. Biggest thing with that weight, just make sure you're keeping a tight core the whole time and you're never arching or leaning back. So we should be thinking about squeezing your core, butt, and everything solid the whole way through. 15 sit-ups. So these are either weighted or not weighted with a no-hand sit-up. So if you are doing weighted, it does usually help to have maybe your feet planted underneath your couch or something holding them down. If you want your kid to hold your feet for you, okay, it will help a little bit. If you don't want to use anything, that's fine. But I usually tend to see my feet come up a lot when I use a heavier weight. Right now, Bucky's gonna do the no-handed one. So he's gonna have his feet planted on the ground, his hands across his chest. We're leaning back to touch our shoulders to the ground, but notice how his butt doesn't come off the floor. So when shoulders touch, the butt still stays in contact with the ground. That way our abs stay contracted the whole time, and it makes it a little bit harder. A bad rep would be his hips coming off the floor, so he leans back. Oh, that's the feet too. Just that, oh yeah, that's bad. We don't want a hip pop. All right, we do not want any butt raspberries or bruises or broken tailbones. All right, so you can also use a weight for this. So if you have a weight, just hold it across your chest. You can cross your arms, hold it, whatever you want to do. Just make sure it's close to your chest and doesn't roll towards your face when you lean back. So keep a nice tight hold on it. All right, so again, you're rotating through 15 minutes, ideally getting through at least 4 times, maybe even 5. After, we have every 2 minutes for 5 sets. Okay, you have 15 burpees and then max alternating dumbbell, hang clean, and push presses until the next 2 minutes hits. You're gonna do this again for 5 sets. So that means when 3, 2, 1, go, you're gonna do 15 burpees and then remaining time again until the next 2-minute window hits, you're gonna do max alternating dumbbell, hang clean, and push presses. So ideally those 15 burpees should take you between 45 seconds, give or take, so that way you have 1 minute and 15 to do as many of those hang clean and push presses as possible before again the 2-minute mark hits, the round restarts, and you're back to those burpees. All right, so again, ideally, bring down the burpee reps if you have to. So if 15 burpees is going to take you a minute and a half, I would take those down a good amount. So again, you're moving fast, but still have time to get those hang clean and push presses in. The burpee, first easy option. The kick back, so just to the top of our push-up position, hands go down, feet kick back, jump back up, and then we're jumping and clapping. So notice how it's a little bit of a quicker transition. Okay, so we're just kicking the feet back, keeping the core super tight. All right, the next option will be bringing our chest all the way to the ground, but stepping up. So we'll jump those feet back or stepping back, doesn't matter. But again, you can step up from those burpees. Okay, this is if maybe you have a problem with jumping up and you land on those toes, which you don't want. This will be a little bit of an easier transition coming up, just so we're not landing in our toes. The last option, that full burpee, where we're kicking back, peeling that chest up, popping those hips high. All right, so again, be around 45 seconds for those burpees, so we're fast each and every 2 minutes. In the remaining time, we have our max alternating dumbbell, hang clean, and push press. So Bucky's gonna go ahead and deadlift the weight off the ground because it is from the hang position. His feet are underneath his hips, maybe even a little bit more narrow, whatever's comfortable for you. But since this is from the hang, the dumbbell weight is gonna go through the hips with a nice tall chest. You'll hinge forward, and we are cleaning it to our front rack. So he's gotta pop those hips, get tall, and then drop underneath the weight with a nice fast elbow in front, sitting those hips back into a quarter squat. Then we will stand up through into a push press. All right, so when you catch your clean, you're in the dip of what we usually have for our push press. So you can just drive up out of the bottom of that catch and then drive that dumbbell overhead. Okay, making sure our biceps gets nice and close to our ear. So again, we want the weight through the hips. We have a tall chest and we're using the hips to pop. We're dropping underneath and you're catching a core squat and then driving through that overhead press. All right, so again, you have about a minute and 15 seconds to do as many of those as possible. You may have to drop the dumbbell once, but I wouldn't drop it any more than that. Okay, but again, it's for 5 sets every 2 minutes. You first do those 15 burpees, and the remaining time, get those hang clean dumbbell push presses in. All right, have fun with this one. Happy Monday.